What up, everyone? I'm psychic medium Jessica Nightingale, and I'm here to teach you a little trick on how you can connect with your intuition to receive direct guidance about any issue in your life. The best part is that you don't have to buy anything, you don't need any tools at all, and you don't need any experience either. So, this is how it goes. The first step in connecting with your intuition and getting direct guidance about any life situation is deciding what question you want to ask. So you really need to decide, what is your issue? What is your block? What are you looking for further guidance on? What do you want insight into? And you want to be careful not to use yes or no questions. Yes or no questions are never really conducive to receiving excellent intuitive information. And as a professional psychic, I never use them, whether professionally or personally. I'm always evolving the question into something like, instead of asking, should I stay with this person or not? I would ask, what do I need to know about this relationship? Or instead of asking, should I shave my head or not? I would ask, what do I need to know about changing my look? Or if I were to ask, should I leave this job or not? Should I stay or go? I would again ask, tell me more about this situation. So that's the first thing you want to do, is to decide what you want guidance on and to frame your question in such a way that it's open-ended to receive information. That's really the hardest part of all of this. So once you've got your question in mind, and you can either have it in mind or actually write it down, then you just go about your day. You just carry on with your life like you normally do. Only this time, you're going to be hyper aware to what's going on around you. And I'm not saying that you need to look for anything special. I'm not saying that anything's going to smack you in the face as being a sign. It could be that your day goes on as normal. Everything, unrolls the way it usually does. Your schedule doesn't change. Everything just goes along by osmosis as it usually does. And that's okay. The difference here is that you are going to be more aware of your surroundings as you move through your day. So, for example, this morning I asked myself a question, an open-ended question about something that I wanted to know more about. And then I was standing in my kitchen doing the dishes, mindlessly just doing the dishes. And I happened to glance over onto my deck through the window. And at that very moment, a little red squirrel shooted across. Now, most people would say a squirrel isn't a sign. There are squirrels everywhere, especially when you live in the country like I do. But I know better, because I was hyper aware to receiving signs. And so I knew that I looked at the deck at the exact moment that I needed to. And because I noticed the squirrel, I knew it was a sign for me. The third part of this is deciphering the message. That's really easier than you think. My first pro tip is to stay off Google. Do not Google the symbolism of things. What you're doing is really just reading other people's interpretations, and that's not how your intuition works. Your intuition is super personal. So in order to decode the messages that you get or the symbolism of things that you see throughout your day, you really want to just ask yourself what that thing means to you. How does it make you feel? When you think about that thing, what do you think about? So for example, I saw the little red squirrel, and immediately I thought about, what does a squirrel mean to me? Well, in the moment, squirrels mean to me, they're very industrious, they're really resourceful, they plan ahead, right? And they really take care of themselves first. So that was my message in response to the question that I had posed earlier in the day. So for another example, let's say that you ask a question about whether you should stay in the same job or not. Well, you go to that job that you're normally going to every day, you're used to going to. And when you're there, you're going about your business, you're taking care of everything that you take care of every day, just like normal. But this time you're going to pay attention to what is around you. You're going to be more mindful. And you may overhear someone having a conversation about something, and you want to ask, wait, what does that mean to me? How does that make me feel? Or let's say you go into the lunchroom and there's no water left in the water cooler. And you think, what? I wanted water. There's no water. Hey, that's a sign. What does that mean to me? What does water mean to me? What does not having it mean to me? What does that represent? And that's all going to generate clues to give you the information that you're looking for. It can take a little bit of practice to refer to yourself, to ask yourself what different things mean rather than trying to look outside of yourself to ask other people what the symbolism might be. But that's really just a little bit of practice. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. And the more you trust yourself in your interpretation of those symbols, the easier it gets. The whole thing is kind of like psychic Blue's Clues. I have a 2-year-old. She loves the show Blue's Clues, where this little blue dog communicates with its person through giving it clues by putting its paw print on different things. And that person has to kind of pay attention to where the puppy's put his paw print so that he can decipher what the dog is trying to say to him. It's the same thing. So what's happening is you're putting out there, what do I want, or what can I learn more about this situation? And then you're just noticing, you're paying attention to your surroundings, and you're taking really everything that sticks out to you as a clue. So it's not about looking for anything special. It's not about looking for anything that smacks you in your face. It could be very subtle. And it's up to you just to notice and to think to yourself, what could that mean? And it's a great idea to write all the clues that you get down throughout the day. And at the end of the day, you can look back and start piecing them together. And again, the more you do it, the easier that it gets. For another example, I was driving to a play date this morning with my little girl, and we were at a stop sign, and I happened to glance over and I saw in a parking lot adjacent to me a car that had clearly been in a car accident. Like the back door was just totally busted up. And I thought to myself, that person is crazy for driving that car like that. And then I thought, whoa, that's a sign for me. What does that mean to me? What it means to me is the vehicle represents the body, and it being busted up, but the owner still driving it and taking care of business while it was busted up is a message to me that even if I'm feeling busted up, I can still go about my day. I can still serve. I can still take care of myself. I can still do the things that I need to do and not just feel like I need to, like I'm broken and broke down. So that's a personal interpretation that was meaningful for me, and it could mean something different to you, but that's just an example of how this all works. So to recap, you want to form your question, get clear on what it is that you want to know. Pick one thing at a time, okay? Pick one thing. Form your question and then go about your day as normal and just pay attention to the omens around you. They're everywhere. Finally, you want to interpret the omens, asking yourself, what does it mean to me? How does this make me feel? What references do I connect to this thing or this circumstance or the conversation I overhear or whatever that presents itself to you? And then you just want to tally those up, put them together, and you'll get the message. And the more that you do it, the easier it gets and the more information you'll get. So if you are unclear after a couple of days of doing it, just keep doing it. The universe will continue to conspire to give you those signs through your natural surroundings. And honestly, the harder it is, the more in your head you are, and the more you practice and the less in your head you are, the easier it gets. It really is a simple process, and I really hope that you feel inspired to try it and let me know how it goes for you. Okay, well, I wanted to share that with you because it really has been such a workable, practical way of connecting myself with my own intuition. And I hope that you can find that it works as well for you. Let me know how it goes. Take care, everyone.